Good evening, YouTubers. Today I want to talk to you about a 1962 Owens runabout boat. This is a 17-foot deluxe model. It's actually 16.5 foot if you measure from the tip to the transom. It's got an 85 horse outboard, and I wanted to do a video on this because finding information on these boats was very, very hard. Because it's old, because it's unique, couldn't find a whole lot. So what I ended up finding was, if you Google search Owen's rocket ride, you'll find a gentleman that actually restored a boat similar to this. Also, Cutter boats. Cutter made a Jet DeVille that was very similar platform to this. And per my research, this was actually Owens made yachts, and this was one of their pet projects. I believe it was because of kind of the baby boom after the wars. You know, a lot of people were out trying to do recreational things, and this was a result. So what makes this boat unique is ultimately it does not have a wooden piece that runs from the keel the length of the keel. Furthermore, the stringers start here, and they're kind of like these 2.5, 3-inch wide pieces that run from here all the way back. And the reason that I wanted to do this was just to kind of give people an idea of what the inside of this boat looks like, because I couldn't find very much information on it at all. These bench seats were filled with flotation foam, which I have removed, because if the boat sinks, I think I'm just going to let it sink, even though I got some money into it. However, those were filled with flotation foam, and this was ultimately, whenever I looked into this, it seemed like, you know, this was centered on mass production, similar to Ford, right? They were trying to make this a very standardized model of boat. They were trying to make it very quick and very efficiently, as well as very good, right? So it has barely any wood in it. It just has those stringers. It sat over here at the side of my neighbor's garage. His mom was gracious enough to give me the boat because she wanted to see it fixed up just as much as I did. And due to Rona, you know, I figured it was a great opportunity to fix up this boat and kind of go out with my wife and my baby. But I'm a year into it now, and I'm just getting around to painting it. It's got these super cool fenders, and I think I'm gonna do kind of, I don't know if I'm gonna do a little series on it or what, but it's a pretty cool boat. I think it has like an 80-inch beam width. What makes it a deluxe is they had a couple different models that, you know, the deluxe had a trunk, and this was the trunk piece. So this piece kind of goes in the back, and it has this cover right here under all this crap, and the trunk piece kind of fits in here. I ended up cutting it out. So whenever I did the transom, the cap on this boat is tabbed in completely all the way around. So it's practically molded together, right? So the top is secure with the bottom half of the boat. So this piece is secure with this piece. So the hull and the top cap are one because it's tabbed together. Tabbing just means that it's fiberglass that has resin on it that's basically slapped up against both surfaces, which holds it together. So what I had to do is I had to actually cut out the trunk piece here in order to get access to here. And you know, your standard transom, which is what this is in most instances, it's 3/4 ply, and then well, it's chop strand, 3/4 ply, more chop strand in between, 3/4 ply, and then chop strand, and then biaxial mat. So 1708 is what is the chop and biaxial, or you can just do chop and then biaxial, whatever you want to do. Whenever I got it off my neighbor, it had these little wood pieces in here that were flat, which didn't make any sense because they're, as anybody knows, you know, flat wood, I mean, kind of like this, unless it's wrapped in a whole bunch of fiberglass, doesn't necessarily hold a lot of strength. Your strength comes from vertical grain, and just like a 2x4, right? You take a 2x4 flat, it's bendy. You jump on it like a skateboard, it flexes. You put it on its edge, and it's hard. So, it had these pieces in here, which they were completely rotted. The stringers are fantastic. They have absolutely no rot in them whatsoever. I drilled a couple holes along the length of them to make sure, and absolutely no water damage, no nothing. So perfect there. That's the only wood that's in this boat, is these pieces that run up to that front to the front seat up there. So you kind of see where they begin, and they just run the length of the boat. So I put in these new pieces of wood here, new transom, some 6-inch knees just to support, because it's an 85 horsepower engine on this boat, which is kind of high. I believe the tag is rated up to 115, but you know, 85 is plenty good. So new transom, we're gonna paint it. I went with not West Systems, Total Boat Total Protect epoxy primer, which is what this gray stuff is here. It's pretty orange peely. I used a really fine, really fine roller. I actually used a couple different rollers, and I used a regular old house roller that was I don't know, some 6-inch eBay, just, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, a regular roller for a smooth surface. It's not a foamy. And then I also did the foamy, and I don't know, it's kind of orange peely. I'm gonna see once it settles. It's still a little wet, tacky right now, but gel coat on this thing is trash. I don't know if you can see it, but it has all these tiny little cracks, which I have been sanding the hell out of, try to get through, and unless I take it all the way down to bare glass, it doesn't want to come out. So I'm gonna try using this epoxy primer. I don't know if you can still see it. It's still showing through here, but I'm gonna put a couple coats on it and see what happens. If it still looks all gatory, then I'm just gonna paint the deal, and I think I'm just gonna add some grit to it in order to kind of, you know, give it some texture so you're not slipping and sliding around up here. Also, I need to build a windshield and some other various things. As you see, the thing is completely gutted, so it needs a whole interior. And yeah, I'll do another video, a couple videos on those. I don't know, hopefully this is helpful to somebody. I like watching videos of people working on boats, but I unfortunately am not very good at YouTube, so I'm probably just gonna do aftermath follow-ups of the stuff that I did, to kind of give people an idea. And hopefully you can learn some stuff from me, or some things that I screw up, or some things that I've shared along the way. And I don't know, hopefully it's useful, hopefully it helps, because I like sharing information. I think it's very, very good what YouTube does. I don't like that they censor some things, and I don't like that they demonetize some people, but all in all, I like the premise. So hopefully this helps people, and hopefully you don't get bored, and have a good night.